Now I get to introduce you all to our latest ambassador, Bonnie Power, who's the CEO of Perfect Boom. And Perfect Boom is this amazing organisation that helps people discover the hidden gems that are in LinkedIn. So Bonnie, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this amazing business.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Lisa. So LinkedIn has got all of the really smart people in the community, and that's one thing that I've always been attracted to on LinkedIn. It's got great conversations. The networking, the professional networking is so extraordinary that I thought, how can people use this to get ahead, to be positioned within the market, to be able to be seen as the ideal candidate or the ideal choice as a client, so or a prospective supplier. So I started looking and researching, and I've started a small business actually about 12 years ago called Melbourne Resumes.
Mm-hmm.
So we do resume writing, selection criteria, and LinkedIn profiles. And then I thought, I'm going to start learning how small businesses and large corporations can also use LinkedIn to position themselves and attract clients, because that was something that I was passionate about from the start. So yeah, it came from firstly client demand, because a resume wasn't enough, and then my interests started to go to wanting to help small businesses, especially business women, and now I've got a full-fledged service where I provide education and training and coaching to individuals on how to position themselves on LinkedIn, but also we've got that Done For You marketing agency that specifically does LinkedIn marketing and lead generation.
It's great to have you on board, and I really appreciate the fact that you're going to share your story with us, because there's some valuable lessons for us all in there. So,
yeah. 6 months ago, and it's a bad story actually, so it's a bit of a tragedy, a bit of personal tragedy in my life, just to give everyone the heads up. My son was walking across the road with my 6-year-old daughter, so my son Jack is 10 years old, with their older friend Brianna, who was 12, and they wanted to go to the shops, which was only a 7-minute walk from my girlfriend's house. She and it's just safe, it's a really safe neighbourhood. It was Blackburn, and I wanted to step out and go down to the shops, and we said yes, okay, as long as we look after each other and do everything safely. But when they were crossing the road at that pedestrian crossing down Springfield Road, they had pushed that little button and waited for the buzzer to go off, and they walked across the man at the green man, but unfortunately there was a man in an old white van who sort of drove, and he apparently he was looking straight ahead at the road, because Brianna saw his face. He saw the eyes. She saw the eyes looking ahead, but he didn't see the kids walking across the road, and he didn't see the red light, and he ran straight into my son, and my son died 24 hours later at the Royal Children's Hospital. So luckily the girls who did sort of see the car coming, they quickly rushed off before. So they were okay, but my son didn't quite get off the road. So I was in shock, I reckon, for 6 months. It's only taken me the last week that I've really exhaled and really absorbed what's happened. I spent that 6 months almost protesting, like campaigning. I could not believe that these kids had done everything right, and still they serve the highest price. So I wanted to have the biggest impact I possibly could, because it did make it to the news. My goal is to get it out into the world about how our kids are dying because we're not being present in our life, and especially on the roads. we're running around, you know, everyone's so busy these days, and it's like we're on this big hamster wheel, and the hamster wheel just keeps getting faster and faster, and technology is also inserted into that factor, and we think we can multitask at every minute of every day, and our kids are literally paying the highest price. The more people that hear about the story, the better, and I want every parent to tell their child not to trust the green man. Like, that's the first key message that I want everyone to make sure that they tell their kids, you know, that just because they're doing the right thing doesn't mean that they're safe. So I think it's really important to have that conversation, and to continually have that conversation, because our kids, they go, yeah, mum, you know what, you know, yeah. But it's like, no, you don't understand. And then maybe tell a story about what happened to Jack, and say, this is a real issue. So I want Jack's death to stand for something, and if I can save more kids, then that would be awesome. And then the other thing is, as drivers, I think if we can all just slow down and just really, even if we're just in the car, you know, just concentrate on being more present in our life and mindfully driving the car, you know, get from A to B safely. And that's the one thing you have to do. Give yourself permission just to not have to think about things, not have to multitask. You know, if the kids are screaming in the back, demanding your attention, if there's fights and everything, I think that's a huge distraction as well. So it's like a conversation to say, this, you know, mum's driving a car. This car could actually kill anything that gets in its way. I don't want to have to turn around and try and sort you two out. So just behave. As you know, as our lives are getting faster and faster and faster, just to unplug from social media, or unplug from the emails. You know, they'll never stop, but you can wedge out, you know, a bit of time, particularly perhaps if you're in the car, just to give yourself that time, just to be mindful about the one thing. And yeah.
Well, and you know, life's too short, so it's about making the most of our opportunities. And you know, go back to the summit, but it was great to see so many people carving out that time to develop themselves and to get solutions, and everybody had great smiles on their face. Not to say, and Chica, oh my God, as a speaker, she was so lovely.
She's lovely.
And everybody got photos with her wherever. She's the most awesome selfie person. I can't do that. Not only can she do selfies, but she can pose, and she looks fabulous as she does it. That's a real skill level in itself. But welcome aboard as an ambassador, and I think this whole thing of driver awareness is really important. And so, you know, if you share this story with one or two other people, you know, you'll be doing Bonnie a service, and all of us, just to keep the message out there.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, let the world, I want to let the world know about what's happened to Jack, because then it'll help. The more people who hear the story, the more we change the behaviour, and then our kids will be safer. So, because interestingly enough, last year there was 167% increase in children who were having fatalities on the road. So wow. Kids who are aged between 5 and 15, they went up 167% between 2017 and 2018. So even though the overall number went down, for some reason that little patch, that little age group of children went up astronomically. So my goal is to get that right down.
And it all starts with awareness. So, and if anyone wants to reach out to Bonnie, you can on LinkedIn for sure.
Yeah. The personal, my personal drive, like I will spend the rest of my life advocating about driver distraction, being more present. And also the other flip side is, you never know how much time you've got in this world. So it's like, let's live our best life. Like, let's make 2019 our best year, and don't hold back. You know, like, if you don't know how much time you're going to have, you don't know what's going to happen to you. So, like, let's not play small anymore. Like, if you've got this goal, if you want to be this person in your mind, now is the time to start taking action. So that's another thing, because I realised it's like when that happened to Jack, I thought, oh, life's so short, you don't know what you're going to get. So what do I want out of my life? Like, what's the meaning of my life? What do I, like, when I'm sitting there in my rocking chair when I'm 85 years of age, what do I really want to be proud of? Well, what I want to reflect back and think, thank God I tried that. I did pretty well in it, and I helped a lot of people and I made a difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just my last pep talk.
No, it's good. And I think it's just good to remind yourself. Quite often, as you say, we get caught up in the treadmill of answering 500 emails. And does that really add you on your journey? I mean, it's something we have, you know, some of which we have to do. But, yeah, try to get past some of that noise, I guess, and be more meaningful with what we do.
Yeah, and also to create that, lower the expectation that people, like for me, like if someone texts me, they know I'm not going to respond straight away. Like I might respond within a day or 2 days, but nobody expects me to get back to them like that. You know, I am not at anyone's beck and call. And when you think about it, these phones, this is our tool. We bought this to make our life easier. We're not at the beck and call of our devices. And so, and people will understand, you know, like you're just living life in the now and you don't have to be there all the time, you know, so responsive.
Cool. So on that note, welcome aboard. You'll be able to catch, we'll have Bonnie up on our website under Ambassador, so feel free to connect with her as well, particularly if you've got something you want to do, and maybe do some collaboration with her on this. So thank you.
If anyone is interested, I've got a Facebook group. If anyone's interested in joining the campaign about, you know, saving our kids and bringing about driver distraction, and the Facebook group is called In Memory of Jack Power.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.